Welcome to Stock and Options Trading Unlocked.
If you want to learn how to make 6 or 7 figures a year trading 2 hours a day, this is the show for you.
We are here to talk about everything trading, weekly news, tips, and special guests to get you motivated and profitable.
Don't forget, everything you hear is opinion only and not to be considered financial advice.
Here are your hosts, Athul Patel and David Picard.
Hey, let me actually get some lights on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stocks and Options Trading Unlocked. Let's see if I can get this video play out a little bit better for us. That's a little bit better. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust this since it's just me right now. I think David will be joining us in a little bit. But, oh, and then we got to get some lights. So hope everyone's had a good week since our last broadcast. Okay, there we go. A little more light. So what an amazing week, couple days. We can always count on Fed to give us a move in the market, and they've been doing that pretty consistently lately. And if you know how to plan the trades and how to anticipate the price action, there's some good profits and to be made. Really proud of the one yesterday, because kind of called the retracement to the letter, and it was perfect. And it was kind of what was really fascinating about the trade yesterday was that so I was hawking the 3,800 puts yesterday for a good portion of it, and then the crazy thing is that the price of the options after the Fed announcement came down to less. They were much lower on the chart, but then even when we had spiked up almost to 389 yesterday, and so it was really kind of a neat thing when you have levels and targets of how things are going to move, to reverse engineer the math to figure out the risk reward, and then go, hey, you know what, if we're right, this is what the payout's going to be. And if you guys are interested, I can just say something in the YouTube channel, and I'll bring it up. But the big thing about today or tonight that I want to talk about is consolidation. I know that there are, let's see if I can get this screen a little bit better. Sorry guys, I just don't want this hopefully not cutting things off now. There we go, much better. Okay, so so yeah, let's talk about consolidation. How many I'm gonna look at I'm watching the YouTube channel, the chat window. Let me know if you've got chopped up today. Did you guys how did that go today? So say something in the chat, and we'll did anybody get chopped up? So one of the things that helped me is I haven't seen any comments yet, but I kind of anticipated that today's price action might lead to this kind of action early, and it looks like we're getting some gapping down now after the earlier consolidation. But we want that next move, we want the next leg, we want to be a part of it, we want to catch that. And the challenge is, though, the premiums are juiced, and if you don't get the move you want in the time frame you want, and you're using same day contracts, those are going to bleed out and you're going to lose. And so there's two ways to really deal with that, especially if you're anticipating consolidation. One, choose to not play and go, hey, you know what? It's not worth, the risk reward isn't there, because of the probability around the, I mean, the risk, the reward might be there, but the probability may not be there, because of the consolidation, right? So we still took attempts at it, and then if it didn't work, it didn't work. It's cool. But the, nailed the short actually, this morning, and so that gave us a nice little trade, and then we got VWAP and we got a bounce, and then it like decided to chop and go up again, and make a double top lower high. But I don't want to spend my day looking at the screens all day, especially when we have slow moves and there isn't a strong trend developed, right? And so you can basically position. And then if you think that you're directionally right, then maybe you take contracts that are further out in time. So what you're doing is you're acknowledging the consolidation. If you still want to participate, then take more time. Maybe go further, a little bit further out of the money, but you take more time and hit stops at maybe high a day if you're expecting downside, or low a day if you're expecting upside, or around VWAP, or depending upon what your whole setup is. But the point is, you kind of take a bigger picture plan, size appropriately, and then walk away, right? Let the consolidation do its thing, rather than you emotionally get caught up in trying to catch every leg, every move, every like, oh, it's gonna work, it's about to do it, it's about to do it, oh, it's gonna do it, let me size up, and boom, bounce, and it reverses, and you get smoked. Okay, I know I've had that happen to me. And so what I was leading with earlier is that the what helps me is to recognize the possibility that today might have that kind of uh, price action, right? And so seeing that today was, I was like, okay, hey, I want it to trend, I want it to move, I need to do it in a certain amount of time. If it doesn't start developing into something in the first couple of hours, I'm done. I don't want to sit here and watch it chop, right? And that, probably saved me. The day like today, I started off green. I think I had a really, really nice solid green. I gave it a chance. I ended up giving a third of my gains back. And then after that, I was like, hey, you know what? It's good. It's fine. Right? Like I was willing to risk that one third for a lot more gains. But I don't want to risk the rest of the two thirds on a day that might chop around, right? And when I was started, I would go, no, I got to make money today. I got to make money today. I got to make more money today. And it would drive me to then have that very green day turn into a very red day when you have price action like this. Okay. And so I'm really curious about if anybody had experienced that. So I would love to hear your stories about getting caught in consolidation. Let me type it in the chat and see. Let's see. I'm just watching. While that's going on, let me see if I can bring up a chart. Okay. Not seeing any responses yet. Okay, well, let's go ahead and I will See, I think this is FSLR. Cool. Let's talk about this guy right here. And then I'm going to take this and put it in the screen just in case anybody pops up. There we go. Okay. So the so you sometimes you want to make sure you've got if your trades are not working, you want to look for names that have a strong trend. So for example, FSLR, or strong trend. So we called this out long down at around 120, and now it's 158. My target was, this is my levels here. 158 to 160 was my major target, and then 174. But this has been 2 weeks, and we already got like a move for almost 40 points. Yeah, so this is pretty neat, neat move. And you can see how this had so they popped, came down, held, based, broke out, came back and tested during lunch, based, went back, and then went right to the levels, right? And so that's why having the levels are so helpful, is you can kind of guide and plan. So you can go like, hey, if I go long here and it's a Thursday, how much room do I have to the upside? Oh, hey, I got 4 points. If I get in around 154, maybe it goes to 158. And I'm going to risk maybe $1 or something, or 153.50. You get in, you're like risking to a break below. It's okay. It's okay. It's like I'm gonna or maybe you take more time because you're like, hey, if this kind of continues, maybe it goes up here, right? And there's a big breakout. But this is trend. I want to be a part of trend, as opposed to being a part of chop. And so so that's what we want to be a part of. Now let's take a look at SPY. Okay. So the initial move was to the downside, right? And then it ripped and it crossed high a day, came back down, and then it ripped and came back down, and it was like, okay, is it going to follow through or is it going to go back up? But you can see how it was just like chop. Right. And so with that said, it's kind of I didn't want to be a part of this, because for me, I didn't have a conviction that this is going to go up to 379, right? And if anything, I was kind of looking for the downside, right? So I was looking for pops to go short. So for me, the short, we got short here actually and nailed this leg right here, and I had to cover up. Then it came back here, and then later in the day, it's kind of okay, but you're going to look at taking swing puts, right? Like 3,600 for Friday, for tomorrow or something, or 3,650 or something overnight. And then we're just basically anticipating that hopefully this is, this gaps down or it fails overnight, right? I was actually kind of hoping for an overnight pop into 375 and then load up and then have it fail. But we have non-farm payroll tomorrow, I believe. And so we'll see what those numbers do, and that could be what takes us down, right? If you take a look at the daily on SPY, there we go. This is ugly. Oh, sorry. For this hunter. Yeah, this is very ugly. Okay. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe fifth red day takes us down to 360, 365. But if this 365 breaks, it could get really ugly tomorrow, right? So I'm kind of looking for this to get tested right here, this area tomorrow, and then maybe we have follow through, maybe we don't. I don't see why we wouldn't. And where do we go if it does, guys? I'm basically, if that breaks, you got to think back and say, hey, well, those pre-COVID lows could possibly come, but this is very doable. Right here, there's some support here, and then the other one is that's this 350 that we have from before, right? Which is really kind of like this 355 and whatnot. But once this breaks, and we get back below this, right? This is what I was talking about. If you see this and 360 turns heavy and we start breaking this, and then this becomes a ceiling, it puts this band into play. This 320 to 355 comes into play. And then if that 320 breaks, some people are thinking that we're going to go all the way back down to here. I don't know. I'm not convinced of that. I think it's definitely in the world of possibility, depending upon how badly the Fed wrecks things. We did this in 2 years. There's a reason why we can't go back if this was all considered a big squeeze. Basically, if this is all considered overvaluation, and now there's wealth destruction, true wealth. This is ugly, right? So let's see. I'm right now, my targeting is 300 to 320 or 330 by end of December, end of the year. That's what my target's been since here, this drop right here. Let's see if we get that down here. Now the other possibility is we come down here and we bounce, right? We find some support, but I don't see why. They're rising rates. That story of the hike, the rate the rates being raised at this point, the story isn't changing. If anything, it's getting more extreme, and so that could mean that we are going much lower. Okay, so then it comes a matter of positioning. Where do you position? How do you plan? How do you whatnot, right? And so that's what we got to do, right? And so what you got to do is, when it comes down, I'm trying to stay on the theme of consolidation, is you want to, if you get consolidation action, you're not getting the strong trend, you want to then look at positioning. That's your superpower that you got to develop for dealing with consolidation, is going, hey, okay, if this is consolidating, where's it going to go, right? Where's my risk reward for my thesis? If my thesis is that, hey, this is going to go lower, then I want to look for resistance and go, you know what, I want to position near the highs for that move to the downside as part of this consolidation. If my thesis is that, hey, you know what, this was actually a flush out, we're going to go higher, then I want to get in on support, right? 370 or on VWAP here. Anytime it kind of comes and goes, hey, I'm gonna get some. And you sell into spikes, lock some profit in, you reload, and then you're either going to win or lose. Okay. Now, if you're going to be holding, if you're trading SPY, for example, or some of these names with options, you can't necessarily always trade them overnight. So the trick for that, for example, for me, is I like to use SPX. It's a little bit thin, so you got to make sure you have like a $1 or $2 range. So if you're going to have $1 or $2, you got to make sure that you're going to have a $10, $20, $30 move to make it worth the risk you're taking. And so I like to use that contract for overnight, but then you can also do futures, right, to take advantage of these moves. So, get educated, get versed in the different vehicles that are available to you. And then also, you don't have to trade all the time, everything. Okay. And so if it doesn't match what your process is and your desires, let it go. There will be more trades. Wait for the trades that match the setup that pays you the most. Okay. So that's my thoughts on consolidation, is you use that to position for bigger picture if you're going to swing. Otherwise, you just let it go, choose not to trade it, stay away, and you walk away. Okay. And a big part of that for me is saying, hey, I want action to happen in a certain time frame. Like, I like to focus on the first 2 hours a day. I make whatever I make. Okay. Forcing it where I got to, and I stay past those 2 hours, I lose a lot. after those 2 hours. So I have learned that it's not good for me. So look and where your trades are good for you. Okay. That said, we are building a platform to help traders with their trading. One of the things that I am hoping to develop over the next year, as we have more folks using the platform, is to build a knowledge base where basically what you're going to do is you can plan your trades and then track the execution of your trades and see how those goes. And then over time, uh, the system will collect the data around how you're trading, the good trades that you have and the bad trades you have, and the idea is to have the system, the algo, the AI behind the engine to go, hey, you know what? These are the trades I'm good at, and then to have it eventually go, hey, there's a trade that you're usually good at that's kind of setting up right now, and then alert you to it and say, hey, here's what the plan you would be. I know it's very ambitious. It's very ambitious, but I think it could be done. And so I'm pretty excited about that. But it's going to need, you're going to need to, become part. If you're not already a part of the group, be a part of the group and use the tool, use the platform to plan your trades and track the results of your trades, good and bad, right? And so it's the platform's pretty cool because what we're doing is essentially giving traders their kind of a little bit of their back office, right? So a place to identify trade opportunities, a place to plan your trades out, a place to execute on those trades, a place to then go back and review those trades for what you could have done good or bad, and then eventually have a feedback loop that will then help you recognize and understand what's working in your trades, what's not, and then eventually having a system that will help you excel at the kind of trading that you are good at, right? So it's pretty cool. It's a big vision, but we're making steps toward it. So I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. And so if you're not already a part of this and you want to be, get in touch, right? Get in touch. Send me an email, spectre@emomo.com, or send me a DM on Twitter at Spectre Trades. It's like I said, my mission has never changed. It's to help traders become better traders, and to give folks the ability to live a life where they work 2 hours a day, right? Trade 2 hours a day, earn the income you want, and then move on, right? And I want to share that with others. And so, and then I just happen to be a little bit of a workaholic, so and I need to always like be building something, and so that's why, you're like, why aren't you always at the beach and stuff? It's like, because it's not, I'm doing right now what fulfills me, right? So yes, it might be work, but it's actually fulfilling for me, as opposed to, do I have to? That's the difference, right? And I get value and satisfaction out of building something and seeing other traders become better traders, and seeing those results, and then really striving to see those life changes in people. So that's what we're about, right? So any questions, guys? Anybody want to talk about consolidation or the trades they took? Or I've got a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna have to go, but would love to chat with you guys. Oh, maybe I can share this. Let's see if I can paste an image into the chat here. So this actually came from our trades yesterday. So we got a scoreboard, and we're still kind of working on I want to build it out so that you don't just get the scoreboard, but when you click on the trades, you get the actual layout of the trades and what happens, so you can kind of see the background behind it. And so it's kind of cool. There's a lot of I'm pretty excited about the stuff. But yeah, take a look at this. I'm posting this in the chat. Does it paste? Okay, looks like it's I have to oh, okay, let me just I have to grab it off my desktop then. Oh, start hold up. I want to paste an image. How do I paste an image? I guess maybe I can't. All right, well, I'll just send a tweet out then with yesterday's. But it was pretty cool, right? So if you guys know how we can post images, please see. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way to post an image in the chat. So, okay, well, that's that. But it was pretty cool, right? Like you don't have to have all the trades win. It's showing you how, like, well, I'm happy to lose multiple times, smaller amounts, until I get the trade that I want, and then it pays out, significantly. And so the big one we had yesterday, it was Airbnb. Actually, I mean the big one, the big one was the SPX. Let me see if I can show you guys. So the trade I predicted. So again, using the levels, when we flushed here, I had told folks in our THT group that, hey, go short when it hits this, when it hits 383. And this was down when we were here, right? And the 3800 SPX puts were $1 to $2 here when we hit this. Look at that. It hit 30 to 4, I think 30. I don't even remember the highs. I didn't even bother because I was just like, whatever it's going to be at the end of the day. Right. I think I locked in a bunch at like $22 or something, and then it was pretty cool. It went right to here. No, right here we planned it. Yeah, this was the first cover. Right, we got short here, covered. This was the reload, and then this was the payoff. Right, guys, $1 to 30 in an hour. Amazing stuff. So you don't have to take big size. If you have a 10K account and you take took 2 contracts, maybe $200, and it goes to, it makes 5,000. That could have gone on a 10K account. That could have grown your account 50% using $400 or $200. What am I saying, right? But you got to plan, and you got to trust the targets and the levels. Okay. And so anyways, shared this plan, talked about it, worked out really nice, beautiful. So that was a nice one yesterday. And then the bigger one that was more fun because, yeah, this is fun and exciting, but that they don't come every day, right? This is my bread and butter. Guys, earnings, post-earnings action, being able to read and interpret that. We murdered this. Yesterday, I had said, hey, after this ER, look for this 104.60 pop. We got the pop, take the 100 puts. My target on this, if I'm right about my interpretation of the news, this is going to $90 into Friday. These were, so the 100 puts were $1.50 where we got in, and then I had mentioned down here that watch for a reload on those 100 puts for around $2 to $2.30. And so sure enough, it came down to $2 on right here when it got to here. And if you reloaded here, end of day they were $6, and today they hit $8, right? Amazing. And like this was but this is kind of like a high conviction. Like once they hit this, basically, guys, there's nothing to do here. You just sit on it. It should pay, right? Have your stop and trust it. We take some profit here, follow our process and rules. You take profit into the levels or on your profit taking multiples. Wait for a reload, and then you just have the second trip, but you're covered by your profits here, and you can really let it kind of work and pay you. And so this was a beautiful plan and trade. And so and I love this, right? Because this is news, a gap. How is it going to react? Where's it going to go? Analyze and recognizing what the meaning of the news is, and how the market may react. And so when we get stuff like that, that's kind of great. It's no different than why the long for FSLR, the anticipation of that, and then also the follow through after that. Goldman Sachs, same thing. Okay, guys, planning pays a lot. Okay, you gotta plan. I can't stress that enough. So after their ER, okay, let me actually go to the hourly. So if you guys remember, this was a pretty cool trade setup because when we ripped up in here this day, I had called out and said, hey, I'm looking for this pop toward the 325, I think it was, for a short. And I think the target was 308 or 310 or something like that. And so we got to here, we got to like 312, right? But beautiful short on this gap up and pop. And I had then also said, hey guys, watch this because watch the dip on 308 for a swing long entry. And sure enough, we got a dip here into 308 in pre-market, and actually right here, that held, broke this high, and then we've run since. Okay, very nice, clean move. This is an exhaustion right here, potentially, this dip, pop. Now this is, you gotta see if this is a lower high. If the market turns, and I mean, they're looking at rate hikes, so these guys could potentially continue. But if this gets exhausted, this can come back down now. Maybe to 330. So if you took this as a swing, my plan essentially was locking in here and stops, I think here at 337, and then letting it go and say if it goes wherever it wants to go. And if it stops out, we stop out and then look to reload if it comes back down to 320 to 330 area for the long. So that's my overall thought on GS. Anyways, I hope this was a helpful session. Please let me know. Give me some feedback. I'm here to help you. Thanks for coming. So good luck with your trading tomorrow, and talk to you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw this message. Oh, okay. Thank you, Texas Ranch Adventures. I hope the insights have helped. So yeah, thank you. All right, guys. So I will see you all next time, and have a wonderful night. Take care.